Okay, I'm going to continue now. What you just heard is you heard my mother on tape at my sister's house saying that after I got out here and wrote a $600 and something check, I didn't have money for my medicine. Now, she said that that the medicine was so that she could keep something down in her stomach and for pain. Okay, but she's doing with Tylenol now in a $500,000 house at 3500 Country Ridge Drive in DeSoto. You can Zillow that house and see what it's worth now. My sister had bought a Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz that my sister had just purchased at that time was a CLS 550. And that cost $84,000. The same time my mother was saying she didn't have money for her medicine. People, this is pitiful. And now, the medicine that she needed was called lactulose. Lactulose is something that people who have liver cancer take, and it helps them to digest their food, and it takes the liver that we all have, it takes the ammonia we all have in our brains out of our liver. Now, without that medicine, if you have liver cancer, the ammonia goes straight to your brain, causing confusion first, coma, and then death. My mother never received that medicine. She was taking Tylenol for cancer. Think about that. How'd you feel if you walked into some place and somebody was only giving your mother Tylenol for cancer, and they had a $300,000 a year income, but my mother said she was too broke to buy her medicine? Now, let me continue. Okay, listen to to the conversation of A.W. You can listen to it also on A.W. Brown, Pauline Torture. It's on A.W. Brown, Pauline Torture. When I talked to my mother, I was hot. This was a Saturday. She even told me when I came out here and wrote that check, I ain't got no money. I couldn't afford my medicine. My sister took the time to change my mother's will, file it by June the 10th, buy herself an $84,000 Mercedes, but my sister had not found the time to see that my mother got her medicine. I'm telling you, I was hot. My sister had the $645 I had paid for auto insurance, my mother's check from my dad's retirement at the cement plant, my mother's Social Security, my dad's Social Security, and my mother's school paycheck, which had just been issued the day before. Yet, my mother had only Tylenol to treat cancer. This was June 28th, 18 days after they had changed the will. Now, this is a will that I wouldn't see until March of 2011. And my mother never knew her will had been changed. And here's where it becomes murder. On the Monday following, I went to my mother's doctor's office, David Lee Walters. I found out that she should have been taking lactulose and hydrocodone. The doctor had written her prescriptions for these medications. Now, here is what's important. Most people know that hydrocodone is taken for pain. I have a prescription for hydrocodone and 5 other painkillers since I've had paralysis in the last year and Guillain-Barré, and my health has just been horrible. Here's where the murder of my mother starts. Lactulose is used to help the digestion and also clears ammonia from the liver. I'm going to tell you this twice because when I was teaching, I say things 8 or 9 times. Our healthy livers remove ammonia from our livers and keep it from going to our brain. Since my mother had liver cancer, she needed lactulose. It was vital, it was essential, it was necessary, it was life-sustaining. When one has liver cancer, lactulose is used so that ammonia does not go to the brain. If ammonia gets to the brain, it will cause confusion, coma, then death. Repeat that: confusion, coma, death. Google lactulose and you're going to find people who say that just one day without it, they get confused. Some liver cancer patients talk about taking lactulose for up to 3 years. My mother never received the lactulose. That Monday, June 28, 2008, after I went to the doctor's office, my sister's children called me to let me know that they would not be letting me back into their house. Actually, it was worse than that. They had my mother to call and see it. I heard them coaching my mother in the background. They didn't want anybody in there who was going to give her medication, people. Now, if my sister and her family had been people who did not know better, maybe I would give them a pass, but they do know better. My brother-in-law has a degree in philosophy. My sister has a business degree from SMU and a master's in school administration from the University of Texas. Now, here's the clincher. My sister's son stayed in the house that summer, and he was a fourth-year medical student. He's a physician now. They know what they were doing by changing my mother's will, but only giving her Tylenol for pain and giving her and not getting her lactulose. They were trying to get rid of her fast so that they could get to the money. They were killing her. What kind of people let an 87-year-old 12 weeks into terminal cancer be treated with Tylenol while they live in a $500,000 house and even buy an $84,000 Mercedes CLS 550 the very same week that my mother said she didn't have any money for her medication? You heard it on tape. These are evil people, evil, greedy people. People who cheat little innocent children out of educations by changing their tax scores and turning in fake tax tests with answers that have been corrected. I know what you're thinking. My mother had terminal cancer anyway, and she was going to die. That's true. And you're going to die, and I'm going to die. If you see me in front of your car and you run over me, you can hasten my death. The law will do things for hastening someone else's death. If I take an AIDS patient's medication, I can hasten his or her death. And the law will do something for us hastening someone's death. When we hasten someone else's death, like Marshall Dillon used to do on Gunsmoke, they call it murder. And the murderers go to prison. When 4 people engage in hastening another person's death, they each commit felony murder. And when they engage in a conspiracy to murder while stealing that person's estate, you call it conspiracy to commit capital murder. The penalty for capital murder in the state of Texas is death. Conspiracy to commit capital murder is always tried by the death penalty. I fully intend to see to it that these people are tried and convicted each of capital murder for the pain and suffering they caused my mother just to get her money. I need your help, people. Make sure you have my phone number. My phone number is right up there. I am James Dunn at 3635 Blue Ridge, Dallas, Texas, 75233. And I'm at 214-900-5833. My Twitter is James Dunn. That's James Dunn. 3635 Blue Ridge Boulevard, Dallas, Texas, 75233. 214-900-5833. Let's stop. Okay, 9:32 and it stopped. Okay. Okay, now. I will tell you more about when I get to point 2 about how a last point about how you can help. These My free legal services won't take me. Okay, so I need an attorney. I need you to help me. Now go back and listen to you. Go back and listen to what my mother said. My time just ran out on YouTube, so I'm going to have to go to Pauline Dunn, Justice for Pauline, number 4.